STAC Chat. I'm Liz Kaminski, and I'm joined here today with Matt Cavallo and Joe McCabe. So let's start chatting. So first on our agenda is the U.S. debt. So guys, the U.S. debt is currently $17 trillion. Unfathomable, really.
It's insane.
It's terrible.
So what do you guys think about that? Like, what should we be doing about this, or should we be doing anything?
Well, we need to do something. I mean, one thing we have to do is stop lending money to China. I think that would help a lot.
Borrowing money.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Sorry,
It's such a huge thing. We reached beyond a level we thought we never would come to. You know, especially with China too. I mean, I got a cousin over in China right now, and from what he's told me, you know, the population is over insane. I wouldn't be surprised if because of what's going on with our debt, we wouldn't be going to World War III with China.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. And also just spending in general, like the areas that we're spending in, like as soon as the government reopened, one of the first things to come through was a $1.6 billion aid package to Pakistan.
Wow.
Now, like, do you guys think that we should be giving this much aid, or, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Like, just like spending in general.
I mean, that's pretty excessive, I think, for me, in my view. You know, we spend so much already. It's just like we don't need to be spending, especially that much.
We put a lot of money toward a lot of ridiculous things now. Putting it towards something like this, it's too ridiculous.
Yeah.
So how do you guys think that we should go about this? Do you think parties should, like, we should have bipartisan agenda? Like, we just got out of this government shutdown, which showed the polar differences between the two parties.
Yeah.
How can we possibly come together and try to reduce this spending? Otherwise, our generation and generations after us are going to have this struggle and this always threat of default to China. So what do you guys think?
You know, it really comes down to all the necessities that we aren't making for ourselves. You know, like they're wondering why there aren't enough jobs here. They're wondering why there's so much money like being thrown around and all this other stuff. Frankly, I think that we need to, if we opened up more factories that were making our own products, then maybe we wouldn't have such a decrease in unemployment. You know, I mean, well, that's what we want. We want a decrease in unemployment. We shouldn't have unemployment going up. You know, we need more factories being open. You know, China makes a lot of like simple things for us. Like I don't know, for some reason, I think they're making some type of form of coffee for us. They're making toothpaste, little toys. You know, these are all things that we can be making ourselves, and for some reason, we aren't.
I agree with that. The unemployment rate is way too high. You know, I mean, I've had family members that have lost jobs and have struggled to regain jobs. My brother lost his job. You know, the company went under. That he found a job eventually. He's at Deutsche Bank now, thank God. But it took him a while to find a new job.
Especially for us college students.
It's
going to be tough for us when we get out of here.
Exactly.
It's very, very tough.
Definitely something that young people need to be aware of and keep an eye on. And you know what? You don't think that you can't do anything. You can always write a congressman and use the power of vote. Voting's coming up this next election. Go out there and vote.
I agree with that, absolutely.
I agree
All right,
100%.
so our next talking point is Molly, and not Molly the person, Molly the drug. So what do you guys think about this drug Molly and Miley Cyrus and all these other pop stars singing about it and stuff like that?
No, you go right.
I think it's so stupid, especially, you know, celebrities that use it. I think it's a bad influence on their fans and young kids too. You know, if young kids see Miley Cyrus doing this, they're gonna do it too and become drug addicts. It's not you know, healthy.
You know, I look at it this way, all right? The 60s, 70s, it was like heroin, it was weed, and then in the 80s, it was big with cocaine and all this. You know, every generation has a different type of drug that's sold out there.
Yeah, but have pop stars always been so blatant about it? Like, usually they've kept it on the down low. They haven't been out there saying, I'm gonna go pop a Molly and start sweating tonight.
I think it's just because it's not considered a real narcotic, but really it should be considered.
It should be, absolutely.
You know, if you look at the reports lately, a lot of people are going to the hospital because of this, you know, because of the situations that they're put into. And I think I was reading an article from the Los Angeles Times recently, and they were saying that the way the drug works, a lot of people, they don't even have to do anything. Like, normally they'll say, like, oh, I like to dim the lights and I like to put on music. No, this thing, it sends you right off the rails, right off the bat. You know, in just a few moments, you'll be, you know, gone. Yeah,
and like a lot of people think that it's a pure form of MDMA, which is illegal in the U.S., but
it's not.
It's not. It's like just like when ecstasy came out in the 80s, 90s, ecstasy was considered pure form of MDMA, but it really wasn't. People started mixing them with chemicals and everything, and now
Yeah.
a lot of Molly is being imported from China.
Yeah.
Back to China.
That's another thing.
I'll tell you another
Like,
thing.
who knows what's being mixed into this thing? It's
Yeah.
probably like we have no idea.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's very nerve-wracking
It's-
situation
yeah,
that young
it's-
people are getting into this.
It's definitely not a good thing. It's just so we definitely need to have to ban it somehow, and get it out of our states, because it's ruining kids' lives. It's
I'll
not
tell
good.
you,
It's not good.
what's really annoying thing is that when you go out to if you go out to a bar, if you go out to a club or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, there's a very good chance that 90% of the time you're gonna have somebody come up to you and be like, "Hey, you want to pick up some Molly or some
Exactly.
Mandy?"
Yeah.
Exactly, which is why
you're
it's so
holding
dangerous,
Molly or
yeah.
Mandy. Like it's getting very dangerous now.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mhm.
now,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
a little afraid to go out to
The thing,
a restaurant or anything like that just to grab a bite to eat.
yeah.
Okay, so all right, so that's Molly. So and next on our agenda is pop culture, like movies and stuff, guys. Anyone see a movie recently?
I saw Captain Phillips. That was very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I've
I
heard.
wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I heard it looked really good. Tom
And-
Hanks is always one of my favorites.
I know. He's always been my favorite, and I felt like this is one of his best films he's done in a very long time.
Yeah.
I wasn't really into the Da Vinci Code movies,
Yeah.
But this was very, very entertaining.
I
It
think,
felt so realistic, with
Yeah.
the way it was portrayed.
yeah, I think the last movie I saw of Tom Hanks was like Larry Crown or something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
That
with
wasn't
Julia
very,
Roberts.
It wasn't
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was going to be a lot better because I like both of the actors.
Yeah,
I like.
speaking
Yeah.
of good actors in movies, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's
Gordon-Levitt,
new
yeah.
movie, Don John, just saw that over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It had an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Scarlett Johansson,
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
Right, right.
But the movie itself,
Yeah,
it didn't get
kind
good.
of fell flat a
It
little bit.
Get good
opened
reviews, yeah.
very strong, and I thought the whole film was going to be a joke on the Jersey Shore. Like that was
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
that's what my
the
impression was.
situation,
Yeah.
and that's the portrayal they were going for. And then it took a turn for the worse. They got all serious.
Yeah, it got real serious. But I mean, it was the first film that Gordon-Levitt wrote and directed himself, and you know
so
what?
I gotta hand it off to him.
Yeah,
He
like
did a very good.
he did a good job.
He did a very good
It
job
was.
directing.
Yeah, it was good.
So-
it was good directing.
And what about television? Yes,
Television, yes. I don't know if anybody here is a big fan of The Walking Dead, but
of course.
Yeah.
what a phenomenal series.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah.
picking up right where people want it to be. Breaking Bad just ended,
Yeah.
and it's picking up all the viewers from that show. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that show so much. I'm a big fan of the comic books, so I read them all. And seeing it brought out on the big screen and on television like this is just phenomenal.
And
Yeah.
I think definitely their cast is really strong too, and even the young actors that they
Yeah.
have on there. The actor who plays Carl on The Walking Dead, he's doing a phenomenal
Oh, yeah,
job.
he's
He's
great.
such a young actor to.
Yeah.
He's exactly
doing that.
The character that I read in the comic book
Yeah.
and the books. He's exactly how I want him to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the show's like really popular, which is good for AMC. With especially you don't know what would happen with Breaking Bad ending, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good for them to get a really strong show back. And it's like, is it up to like 6 million viewers or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
It's pretty much, I think it's getting higher than that now.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are saying like, oh, have you heard of the show The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
You should really watch it.
And then they make a couple video games out of it too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will too. I think AMC did
Just
it.
anything you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to promote the show. Yeah.
All right. So, what about music? You guys have any thoughts about any new albums that came out?
I'm a huge fan of Luke Bryan.
Me too.
So,
yeah.
I
don't
loved
listen to
his
country
new
that
album
much.
that came out, Crash My Party.
Pretty-
That's
great
my
album.
new #1 hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it every day.
I picked up Pearl Jam's new album,
man.
Lightning Bolt. I think it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. Had a couple songs that were a little okay, but every album has that. But their one song Sirens is really good. It's actually the theme song of the MLB World Series. If you
yeah.
noticed that. But yeah, it's really good, and everyone should check it out.
All right. So, let's chat about STAC a little bit. So, STAC has implemented this new sustainability program, which you can read about in Atoma. And so, what do you guys think about that? That STAC's moving to be greener and focusing more on like a better tomorrow, especially after that World Health Organization's report came out that pollution is a carcinogenic and can cause cancer. So
No, go right
sorry,
ahead. That's
sorry.
okay. I'm
Second
sorry.
time. No, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think we need to do something to make campuses and even like any society a lot cleaner. But I don't agree with the fact that people blame it on the cars. I think there's a lot more to do than just eliminate gas-filled cars. I think they can do more. But it has to do something. But
they definitely have to go about it. And they've started a little bit with the recycling, and they have like some on-campus things. But I think that they could still push to do more. It's nice to see that this effort, but in our dorms and everything, we still don't have recycling cans. We still don't have any of that. So it's nice that they have this idea, but implementing it is being an issue. Yeah. And so...
Well, it's a smart route to go. I mean, you look at the city now, they're trying to promote more electronic buses. I think that going into these schools, showing that the students now, because, we're the ones who are going to inherit the country, when our parents and everybody a long time has passed. And we're the ones who are going to have to make major decisions on what we're going to do with our society. And I think that's a smart way to go. If you get it into the schools, they're going to, students are going to realize, well, maybe I should consider recycling more. Maybe I should consider going green more. Maybe I should consider taking the bus more instead of driving a car all the time. That it raises a lot of different issues. And I especially I look at the pollution. I say like this: I'm all against pollution. I'm going for green. But it's going to be a tough road ahead because we have so many cars out there that are most likely not, they aren't going green cars. They're they're not electric cars. They're all gas guzzlers. Yeah. So what are we supposed to do with all these cars? We can't just destroy them. That's even making it worse.
That's the thing. Car companies don't care. They want to make money, and they're not going to make money off of electric cars. Yeah. That's just They're not going to buy a Chevy Volt. They'd rather get, like a Camaro or something like that, because it's cooler. But, Yeah,
and then on top of that, you got to add in the natural pollution that actually goes into our atmosphere from the volcanoes that erupt, or the volcanoes that actually lift off certain smoke in the, in the atmosphere every year. And, it's all accumulating now.
Yeah, I think it's especially interesting, though, that the air pollution is so harmful that the World Health Organization estimated about 3.2 million deaths due to just air pollution because of the carcinogens in the air. And that's worldwide. Which, when you look at it, all right, it might be maybe a small percentage, but still that could grow if our air pollution or air quality keeps getting worse.
That's why it's very smart for these schools. It's the little things like recycling that's really going to help us out in the long run.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys want to talk about sports a little bit?
Sure.
Oh, man. I'm not sure.
So, all right. So, I guess we could start off since the World Series just kicked off. Last night's game.
I had to change
the Red Sox won.
The Red Sox won
8-0.
And it was a little
Boston.
Yeah. The Cardinals didn't really put much of a fight. They kind of helped them out with as many errors they made last night. So
at one point during the fifth inning, I was like, "That's it. I'm changing the channel. I'm just tired of this."
And the worst part about listening to the World Series, watching the World Series, is listening to Joe Buck and Tim McCarver. I cannot stand them.
So droll.
They're so obvious.
They just put you to sleep.
At one point, Joe Buck says, "Oh, well, I think that Boston just outplayed the Cardinals here today." Oh, no crap. It's 5-0.
All right. And what about football? Giants. Let's talk about the Giants.
I'm
no one wants to talk about the Giants right now.
Die-hard Giants fan. But this season, I don't even know what to say. What has happened to my Giants? Where is the Eli magic? What is going on here?
It's not
insane.
There. It's not there.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Team
obviously. Needs an overhaul.
Hopefully, this is what they'll do.
The one team he beats, his brother is the quarterback for. They went. What was it? 17-7. That was the score, I think.
Yeah, the Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that make them? 1-6.
1-6. I think.
Hopefully, this is what will happen. They'll get a number one draft pick out of it somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all they can hope for right now.
That's all they can hope for.
Light,
the one person I feel bad for on that team is definitely Coughlin.
Yeah.
He's the one who's like.
He's such a good coach.
Because he'll go up at the press release afterward and he'll be like, well. We're having a struggle. I don't know what's going on here, and he just doesn't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah,
it's so repetitive.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
what
just
can
to
you
think
say?
this team was,
Yeah.
what, Super Bowl last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
2 years
you know
ago?
what?
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to him. He is
Downward slide, man.
He is one of the best coaches I've seen in years. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like he got the
I agree with
Giants
that,
2
yeah.
Super Bowls. So I'd applaud him once he retires.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Hockey? Wanna
Yeah, we can talk about hockey real fast.
Yeah, well, let's talk about how bad the Rangers and the Devils are doing. You know,
Yeah.
There's no faith in that. You know, and if you're an Islanders fan, it's not really going well too. Well,
Unfortunately, you know.
I was joking with my family. I was like, I think this is the first year that the tri-state teams will not make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
God. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, they need to do something. So.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks, guys, for coming on the show
Yeah,
and
thank you.
chatting.
Yeah, it's an honor.
All right. And don't forget to tune in next week so we can have some more STAC Chat. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.